My name is Peter Angood. I'm President and CEO for the American Association for Physician Leadership, or AAPL as we talk about it. Been in the role about 12 years. However, I'm a surgeon by background, trained in the Canadian system, and I did trauma surgery and surgical critical care for the better part of 25 years and wound up here. I realized fairly young that I enjoyed people, I enjoyed helping people, I enjoyed kind of being there for them, and realized that, for me, probably going into healthcare would be the track that I wanted to go on. And I had the opportunity to go down to Miami before I finished my formal training. That was the early mid-'80s. There was a lot of trauma going on. It was the drug wars. In the era that I grew up in, the surgeon was kind of the captain of the ship. And I realized at that time that kind of ability to be leading the team and sort of working with everybody, it's where I started to appreciate that this leadership approach in healthcare for me was working. There's a certain type of personality that gets drawn into medical school. Idealistic, altruistic, and they certainly very much care about wanting to help others. They're also oftentimes independent thinkers. And through medical school, there is basically zero exposure to leadership, soft skills, management, practice management, because it's all about the science of medicine. And so you wind up with fairly autonomous-minded, independent thinking graduates. For me, it actually wasn't until relatively later that I had a better and truer perception of the importance of these softer skills, because when you're in an environment where it's all about command and control, it gets pretty comfortable after a while, Well, AAPL is much bigger than education overall, and it's ultimately all about leadership development, or so-called professional development. So we've got stuff from just how to help you run your resume all the way through to mentorship, job banks, interview skills, and executive coaching. If you're a pediatrician, it's easy to go find a bunch of other pediatricians. But to find physician leaders, at this point in time, it's still not as large and as simple or as easy as you would hope it could be. So the networking piece, it's that once they find us, you've got lifelong peers that you stay in touch with. Living your life outside of healthcare is critically important. The younger generation is making work-life balance more of a priority, and we're actually learning from that younger generation that, hey, there's a better life out there. I got two wonderful girls, and so we made it a priority to do a lot of family types of activities, so hiking or backpacking or downhill skiing, those sorts of things. But it's really that strong connection to nature that's kind of grounding for me. Once people see what AAPL has and they see all of those various resources, they start to appreciate, gosh, here's a group of folks that are just like me.